Where I'm standing now, I believe is a spot that the drawing you just saw by Owen Stanley, the sketch, he took from about this position here. Right in front of me is a coal shaft, and on this side of it in the sketch you'd see a convict pushing a small cart back towards this shaft. At the back of the shaft there were 3 windlass located. 2 were on this platform here. You can see it's been cut out here. Fortunately this tree is growing in the middle of it, but what you can see there, the cuttings, quite a substantial cutting, and platform underneath. So from what the experts say, and it's certainly not one of them, is one of the windlass would be for winding up the coal. The other one would have been for drawing out water. They had a lot of trouble with water in the tunnels underneath the shafts. Now, this shaft went down, I believe, 45 metres to the tunnels below, and then the seam, they followed the seam up the hill. Now if we go up the back here, of course there's a third windlass, which is unusual, but as that's the only drawing of the mines, we don't know how unusual it is. There's quite a substantial trench right in front of me here. Probably all you can see is bracken, but what I'm guessing is that they had a third windlass situated up maybe here somewhere due to the amount of water in that shaft, and they'll be drawing off the water from this point as well. The water would drain off down here, and even though I can see it here, I guess you can't see it through the jungle there. So this is looking back down where the shaft is, and straight ahead through there I can see where the inclined plane was, where they used to run the coal down to the jetty. So we'll travel down a little bit of that inclined plane. It is slippery here today. It's been raining all night, so now, whatever you do, folks, I suggest don't come out the back off the trails. And if you do find yourself off the trails, don't go to the bottom of the shafts, because there's no idea how well these shafts have been sealed, and you might find yourself all of a sudden 45 metres down with no mobile reception. So now, just looking at the edge of the shaft here, excuse me, see all the coal. So, and I mean there is coal everywhere under this moss. So this is obviously a production shaft as opposed to an exploratory or air shaft. Now under all these logs, the inclined plane, and there was more than one inclined plane at the coal mines, there were kilometres of them. There was one the tourists go on, but there's plenty hidden in the bush, so to speak. The inclined plane went straight ahead down there. Got Gracie patiently waiting there, good girl. But when it gets to here, there's a whole lot of brick rubble under this tree. And then across here there's more rubble, sandstone, and then over here more sandstone. following this up here, it seems to come to a possible chimney stack, which, as per one of the previous videos, they used to, if they had machinery here, they used to draw off the exhaust fumes so it wouldn't get sucked down into the mine shaft. Now, you may say, well, if this is all here, Todd, how do they get the coal down the inclined plane? Well, this here was not here when the convicts were here. This was built, this engine mount situation was built later on to service what we have down here. Now, I'm still walking down the inclined plane, the original inclined plane, where they took the coal out of that shaft. But then we come to a shaft in the ground here, in the middle of the inclined plane. This here was built later on, and that machinery up there was used to service this shaft here. So it wasn't here originally when the inclined plane was there. The inclined plane would have gone all the way down through the bush, down to Plunket Point. We'll get to the other side of that after I grab Gracie, and I'll just show you what happened there. Here is the bank, and then what used to happen was the coal was screened here, the smaller stuff left behind, the bigger stuff here was tipped into larger coal carts, not the size that you saw the convict pushing up there, and then it was transported down here on the 1 tonnish coal carts, I believe, down an inclined plane. And this had tracks going up and down, or plateways they used to call them, in both directions all the way down to Plunket Point. So you can see here the banks where I'm standing now. Keep in mind there was no vegetation here at all by the time they started working here. They stripped all the timber and everything. So, but you can see a good idea of where the inclined plane was going down there. And again, all the coal from the smaller stuff that was left behind, all the bigger stuff that fell off the carts as they were going down, all the way down there to Plunket Point. So, quite a large embankment, this one. There's a similar one near the main shaft, it's known as well, probably the size of this. So you can see here Gracie in the bushes there, and round here it looks like a channel was built for when they built that second shaft later on, to possibly divert the water around from the shaft when they were working there. So this channel here goes up and around quite a distance to meet back up to where we were standing before, close to the brick rubble. Lots of coal again, as one would expect at a coal mine. So it's quite good to marry up those old drawings, pictures and sometimes photos to what actually went on the ground.